A very good evening, everyone. Please let me know that whether I'm visible and audible so that we can start our discussion. Again, today is a very important class. But to start this session, I first want all of you to imagine and think of a situation. Let us start this session with a situation. Imagine that if a particular student who is a graduate, who is about to graduate in any college from India, thinks of what? Thinks of clearing the UPSC exam. Now, please let me know that is there any 1% probability of a person starting from today preparing for this exam and can get selected? There can be a 1% chance for that individual who is starting from today and will get his or her name in the final list. Yes, the probability exists and the probability says that it is the case. And the probability says that it is the case. And that is what we will be discussing today. Why? Because still the time is there. Why? Because still we have what? Around 9 months plus time period we have. And to be more precise, we have what? We have 275 days left for UPSC 2027. So let us think and let us start making a strategy that can we be able to make a strategy having a right roadmap so that we can actually start thinking of what UPSC 2027 attempt and we can start building the right guidance, the right conceptual clarity and the right coverage of the syllabus so that no one can guarantee, but so that we can actually put our best foot forward in actually what acing this exam. And that is what we will be understanding and focusing here. So all those students who still not have any guidance or have not taken any thought process or a formal setup of what preparation can actually stuck with me for the next 25 to 30 minutes and we'll be discussing what are the nuances, how you can prepare yourself in the coming 9 months and you can be giving your best foot in the UPSC 2027 attempt. Also those students who are already in the loop of preparation, who already want to close and conclude their UPSC preparation properly can also take this 9-month planner from us. Perfect. So now the context is I will be taking all the comments which you will be writing in the comment section shortly afterwards. But let us first focus on these are 275 days which are left with us. Now the focus is that the calendar is also out. So UPSC 2027 calendar is out and to your surprise that Prelims 2027 is happening on 23rd of May. And we have Mains 2027 which is starting from 20th of August. Today was 21st August and roughly from 1 year from now, you will be having your essay paper. So today UPSC 2026 students have given their essay paper and you might have seen the essay discussion that I have taken few hours back here in the same channel. So this is the timeline, this is the calendar that UPSC has given. Now, if you really want to do something, if you really want to start thinking and preparing in the right direction for this exam, we have to start putting those concentrated efforts in the preparation. We will see how. But before that, because information needs to be given in the first part of the discussion only, because if there are students who want to take that information, who want to utilize that information, so here is the information, and that is that we are coming up with the last batch of UPSC, that is Titan 5.0 batch for 2027 attempt, and this will be the last batch which you will be taking and which will give you that comprehensive consolidated preparation for UPSC 2027 exam. Because after this batch and after this time period of 9 months, it becomes certainly more difficult to think and to prepare in the right direction, the right way, in the right balance, and that is something that becomes the case. And therefore the details are here. So roughly from 2 or 3 days from now, that is from 24th of August, the batch will be going to start. And again, the important features will include that there are students who are connected, associated with these courses. At the same time, you can have the features that you will be having you can be having live and recorded GS and CSET classes. Then you will be having daily prelims and mains question practice, so that the answer writing, the prelims MCQ solving skill can also be developed on daily basis. Then we have answer writing sessions are there and classes are there. Then we have updated class notes will be given to you. Further, if you talk about, we have doubt solving mechanisms, expert faculty guidance will also be there with you, and also the weekly current affair classes will be getting. Now, after this, we will be also be having if you will be taking the select 360 features. So you will be getting special access to a Nishchay batch by toppers, where the toppers of the last year have recorded some specific strategy sessions which you can take and which you can use to prepare what some specific topics, some strategies which you can use in your prelims, mains and interview stages. Further, we have what one-to-one mentorship can be there in the select 360 feature batch. Further, if you want to talk, you will be given what 22 UPSC wala books which are in the form of hard copies which will be delivered to you. Then you will be having what here is answer writing, plus there is what evaluation is also there. There is test series, there is what a whole khazana of what all the UPSC good teacher videos which will be what combinedly compiled here, which you can access anytime at your ease, at your comfort. At the same time, we will be having what NCERT recorded lectures which will be given to you, so that you can what steadfast the completion of NCERTs in the initial 30 to 40 days only. At 2x you can watch these recorded classes as well. Now further, if you want to go with the select 360 pro features, then you will be getting what the pw.live officers bag kit, which is a special bag. Then you will be getting what access to UPSC, CAPF, NABARD, EPFO, RBI grade B and other things, so that you can be having a plan B also secure for your needs. Because if you have plan B ready, especially for an exam like UPSC, you can become less anxious. The frustration is less, the irritation is less, and you can be giving your attempt the best one without having any frustration. So these are the contexts that you will be having. And now you can see your faculties who will be taking the classes here. So Vikas Alawat sir is there, who will be taking history, art and culture. I will be taking the case of geography, environment ecology and disaster management. I also teach geography optional here at pw.live. And then we have Nikhil Ram sir, who will be taking governance and polity. Then we have Shruti ma'am, who will be taking essay, ethics and integrity aptitude. We will be having Shivam, yes sir, who will be taking science and technology. Prateek sir will be taking Indian economy. Harpreet sir will be taking Indian society and social justice. And Manjeet sir will be taking the case of CSAT. Perfect. So now Raj, we will be coming on that, and you can actually form the strategy accordingly. Now further, if we talk about, this is the calendar, this is the reality that UPSC has given to us. Still the case of 2028, 2029 has not been there with us, but we have a clear cut date and timeline of 2027, and this is more or less will be the same. Now the bottom line here is how we can actually prepare our upcoming months so that we can have the best utilization of the upcoming 9 months. As well as if we are thinking, if we want to complete and compete for this examination, if we aspired for this examination somewhere down the line, we can have do not have a proper regret about it. So we'll be doing, and we'll be seeing how month on month basis, how part by part basis with context to pre, mains and interview stages, how we can strategize our upcoming months and days. So today we are here. Today we are sitting and standing here. That is 21st of August is there. 21st of August is there, and therefore the context here is that from 21st of August till our prelims of 2027, we have roughly around 275 days left. Only 275 days are left. Earlier, those who have started from the month of June, May were having full 1 year, but still many of those students do not have the required right path, as well as many of those students are not studying properly, are not studying the high ROI topics, are not studying the only important themes. But what can be a context with respect to you is that since you have less time now, you have the most optimum time now, you will not waste it. You will not think that, oh, I have the luxury of time now, let me read this book also, let me read J.C. Leong also, let me read NCERTs also, let me read Khullar also, let me read Majid Hussain also for geography. No, you will not do that mistake. Because if you're now starting, and if you have now made up your mind that I want to clear this exam, then you will be only studying the things which matter for the examination hall. And this batch, the teachers will also be focusing in that same fashion. I hope it is very clear. Because if you will strategically apply your further steps, you will see that the time is really, really optimum. So let us now consider this particular phases of our preparation into multiple subsets, and let us see how we can actually contextualize them. So leader expert is asking, sir, please help. I have completed 50% of GS optional. Leader expert, a person who is wise, a person who is educated, is not a person who spam on the comment section on the YouTube. Please wait. I will take every query at the end of the session. Please don't show your anxiousness, your frustration and your haziness, because there is a very important and the famous Chinese proverb, and that Chinese proverb says that a hasty man drinks with a fork. जल्दबाजी करने वाला आदमी अपने पास सूप भी किससे पीता है? कांटे से। सो बहुत सारा निकल जाता है. A hasty man drinks with a fork, and that is what will be the case. So let's be not haste. Let's think and put each of our strategy motives in a very specific manner. So now I am breaking the context of what? Now I am breaking the context of the August to December period, where will be what? Where we'll be putting our majority of the energy with respect to completion of our what mains. And this should be your goal as well. There is a popular term in the market called as what? Mains ready by December. But we'll be trying, of course, because we are relatively late now, we'll not be able to what complete the case of what mains in entirety by December, but we will try our maximum and best that we will be only reading important things, we'll be only focusing on things which matter to us, which the teachers are teaching you in the classes, which the UPSC syllabus and PYQs actually gives you a direction and compass of. So further, if you talk about the context, so from 21st of August, I will be first taking till you the December 31st, and then from January onwards till we'll be going what? Till the February end, the second phase, and for the last 3 months we'll be focusing more on what? Prelims. And here in this Titan 5 batch, your syllabus will be completed roughly around what? The month of April. So by April, your syllabus will be completed. Of course, we will be scheduling the classes in such a way so that majority of the prelims related classes will be scheduled in the later part, so that you can sync properly, with the prelims examination. And therefore, there is what? Overlapping with the prelims classes and also with the prelims needs and preparation time period of that time. Sir, I am doing first year of college. What batch can I join? Pranesh, you can think of linking with this as well. Now, perfect. Further, if you talk about, so there is what? This first phase is there. This first phase is there. Now, if we are standing here today on the case of what? August, if we are standing here today on the case of what? August, what we can do is, we can what? We should have to, or we have to give what? Around 8 to 10 hours on daily basis now. This is non-negotiable. Around 8 to 10 hours on what? Daily basis. And now what you can do is, whatever the 8 or 10 hours you are giving, let us consider this 8 or 10 hours as your 100%. As your 100% of the day that you are devoting. And this is irrespective of the class, whether you are taking the course or whether you are not taking the course, or whether you are following some coaching or not. It is irrespective of that. Now, what you can do is, if you are committed to what? Clear UPSC 2027 attempt, you have to give 8 to 10 hours of what? Per day from now. Of course, there can be some breaks, there can be some what? Health issues if there are. So you can take some breaks. But on an average, you have to what? Count on these many hours. But these should be qualitative as well. How they can be qualitative? We are coming on that. Now, if you're taking 8 hours or 10 hours, whatever it may be, we are taking it as what? 100%. We are taking it as what? 100%. Now, what should be your motive is that out of this 100%, 80% of your energy, 80% of your hard work, 80% of your focus, 80% of your mindset should revolve around what? Should revolve around the case of what? Mains preparation. Mains preparation. So that at least 70 to 80%. So that 70 to 80% at least you are what? You are mains ready by December end. Mains ready by December end. Now what you will be doing in the mains, you will be having what? Two components. So 80% will further be divided into what? 50%, and we will be having what? We will be having 50% of what? Focus should be on GS, completion of GS. And if you are still not sure that which optional you like, you might be taking some optional from your what? Background, from your graduation background, or for a love of a subject, you can take it, or for some topper have inspired you to take, be it geography, sociology, PSIR, anthropology, whatever it may be. If you have decided, you have to what? Put those 50% also here towards the case of your what? Optionals. Towards the case of your what? Optionals. So this should be what? Non-negotiable. I hope it is clear. Very, very important. And further, if you talk about the 80%, after 80%, the 20% remaining is what? That you have to start from what? The case of prelims as well. If you're reading NCRTs, try solving somewhat MCQs of what? Those NCRTs as well. They are available on internet. They will be what? Available here with us also. Each class that we'll be taking here in the Titan 5.0 batch will be giving you what? The daily prelims questions and mains questions, so that preparation can be steadily. Perfect. And that is the context. There is a person called as what? Hemang Gowda. So Hemang, there are people who are learning things, who are working on academics, who are actually doing and learning new things. They are becoming more aware, they are becoming more rational. If the exam is not getting clear, that does not mean that the exam is bad, and therefore you should focus on the process. I hope it is clear. So there are spammers who have plenty of time and who do not have anything to do except spamming the comment section. So hats off to your courage, Hemang. We really appreciate your hard work. Please keep doing it so that your fingers have some employment to do. Perfect. Now further, if you talk about, you have to complete the case of in 20% the case of prelims as well. Prelims as well. In prelims, what you'll be doing is that you will be solving the MCQs of both GS and CSET on daily basis, because prelims and solving those MCQs is a part of a skill, and that skill you should develop from day one as well. And therefore, whatever the classes will be taking, will be giving you the prelims questions as well for solving on daily basis. So that should be your macro context. That should be your macro context. So roughly, if we'll be completing the syllabus around April, we'll be able to complete roughly around 60 to 70% of mains by December, January, and then we'll be following more of the prelims, specific prelims heavy parts. We will see how in the coming context. So we'll be having 4.5 months. Your deal is done. That in the 4.5 months, you have to prepare for at least, you have to lock in at least 8 to 10 hours. Again, I'm not focusing on the hours, but I'm also focusing on the quality of those hours. Are they based upon the syllabus coverage, the PYQ coverage, the case of interlinkages, the case of understanding the things? That should be the context. Perfect. Then further, if I talk about the context here, is that this is the partition that you will be taking and doing. Further, if I talk about, there were many students who started their preparation, in the last cycle as well, and many of them have actually got selected with the case of this timetable as well, and who were writing mains this year as well. So who are writing mains as well this year. Now further, if we talk about the context here, is that we are coming on the case of phase 2. So phase 2 is phase 2 is from January. Phase 2 is from January to Phase 2 is from January to our prelims context, that is 23rd of May 2027. That is the month of May end. You can take. Now what you have to do is, since you have started a bit late, what you'll be doing is you will be extending your preparation of mains till the month of January, till the month of February. But what you'll be doing here is that instead of taking the ratio 80:20, what you can do is you can take the ratio as 50 at least for the month of Feb and January. So for these 2 months also, you are taking 50-50 for the context of you will be preparing 50% here for the case of prelims. Again, the classes will be helping you to cover those things, cover those things, and the 50% will be you will be devoting to the remaining portions of mains that you have not covered till yet. And also the classes will be going, you will be having roughly 2 classes, sometimes there can be 3 classes as well, and you will be completing those context as well. So that will be the case here. Now further, if you talk about here, you will be revising the things that you have studied. Here you will be doing the revision, plus here you will be solving the MCQs. Plus it is also the time that you will be whatever the static portion has been completed for you, you will be completing the PYQs as well. Now you will be starting with the PYQs integration as well, so that properly you can understand the psychology of the examination as well. Similarly for mains, the remaining topics you will be completing. Remaining topics you have to complete, plus whatever the level of revision that you can do. Again, this might sound very easy to draw and very easy to put on the piece of board, but the thing is they have to be they have to be done very sincerely. They have to be done very cleverly as well. Not only sincerely, they have to be done very cleverly as well. Why I'm saying cleverly? Because the thing is that you should be you should be very clear with your goal, that I want to clear this exam. First of all, anyone who is starting for preparing this UPSC exam, always try to have a note in front of your study table that I am here to clear this exam and not to become a PhD expert. People often do this wrong mistake that in the process of preparation of UPSC, they start learning new things, and they actually cross the borders of the syllabus. And once you cross the borders of the syllabus, the academics, the knowledges are endless. You will live a lifetime, then also you will not be able to complete the initial surface level learning of all the subjects and knowledges that exist. And therefore, you don't have to do that. So always have this particular notice and what alert message in front of your study table that you are here to clear the exam and not to become a subject expert, a PhD expert. This should be very clear. Some people also put AIR 1 in 2027. That should not also be the case. It is also a dreamy world. A dreamy world does not exist because the world need dreamers, but the world also need doers. And above all, the world need dreamers who do. Dreamers who do. Dreamers who do. And therefore, this should not be the case. So this will be your January and February, 2 months here also. We are taking the leverage for mains because we are starting a little bit late. But then what will be the context? Then from the coming 2 months, that is March and April, you will be having classes which will be more towards the inclination of prelims also. So by April, we have to wrap up our discussion and the classes. And what we'll be doing here is in these 2 months, more prelims oriented classes will be there. Relatively more prelims oriented classes will be there. And in these 3 months, that is from March, April, and the 23 days or 22 days of 22 days of May, you will be focusing only on the context of prelims. And in prelims context, by that I mean is you will be revising. Again, there will be revision. Again, there will be revision is there. Further, you will be solving at least 50 to 100 MCQs per day. That is again non-negotiable. You will be completing the PYQs of last 30 years at least. And while you are doing them, you don't have to you don't have to attempt them casually. You have to sit on a study table. You have to you have to take OMR. You have to see the question. You have to fill the OMR. That is how you will be completing these things. Plus, you also have to you also have to understand the mistakes that you have done, the questions that you thought that they were right, you thought that you cracked the code, but the answer came different. That is where the delta, that is where the gap, the divergence lies between your learning and the reality of things. All those students who are asking questions, I will be giving the answers at the end of the discussion. So we are discussing first the prima facie understanding of what is the way forward that we have to take. So this is the context, this is the calendar. So again, I'm repeating here that starting from August, that if you're joining from 24th of August, you have to clock in at least 8 to 10 hours. Your mindset should be that this 8 to 10 hours will be my 100%. Out of this 100%, my 80% should be preparation of mains, and 20% will be preparation of prelims, which includes GS and CSET MCQ solving. Further, if I talk about this, will be the completion of your 4.5 months that you have to do. Along with the classes will be giving you an additional push, an additional micro detailing, an additional micro management that you require in your preparation, so that you will not feel left over. You will not feel that FOMO is there, feeling of missing out. See, sometimes we have to fill our time period with qualitative things. And that is the only thing. If you think, if you feel, if you aspire for UPSC preparation, it is the thing that you can now start. I hope it is clear. Further, if you talk about in context of mains, the context here will be that you will be giving 50% to your GS, and if some of you have decided on your optional as well, so you have to give 50% to your optional. This will be your 4.5 months till December, and then you will be having January, February in this fashion, and then the last 2.5 months or maybe 3 months, the case of March, April, and the 22 days of May will be dedicated to only pre, which requires revision. At least 50 to 100 MCQ solving per day, and PYQs of last 30 years needs to be undertaken and taken care for. So this should be your go-to-go strategy for the case of For the case of May. Now, since you have started a bit late, there might be some what gaps in between your what mains preparation, and that is where you have to put some extra effort, some extra fuel you have to burn, and that is where that is there in the phase 3. So after the prelims paper is done, and if things are on your side, if things are favorable on your side, that you have given your 100%, then there are chances that you will be what coming with flying colors here. It is all the presence of mind. It is all the calculative guesswork, not the guesswork, but the calculative what calculative strategic moves that you have taken in the examination hall based upon the information you know, based upon the MCQ solving IQ that you have developed, and then if the things and the outcomes are favorable to you, you will be having what? You will be having the case of what 7 days of May, full what? Full context of what? Full context of June, then July, and then the 20 or 19 days of what? August, and then you will be having what? Then you will be having the context of what? Mains from 20th of August. You will be having what? First as your what? Essay paper on 20th. Then you will be having on what? 21st August. You will be having what? GS 1 and GS 2, and 22nd of what August you will be having GS 3 and GS 4. So this will be the back-to-back case. So this will be on Friday, this will be on Saturday, this will be on what Sunday. This is the pattern. This is the pattern from last many years as well. Of course, the months needs to be changed, but there is what Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That is the 3 what those dark days, or you can say those tough days of your life will be there. And then you will be having what? Then you will be having the context of what? That this is Friday, this is Saturday, this is Sunday, and then from Monday to what? From Monday to what? The next Friday you will be having what? 5 days break. 5 days break is there, and Saturday you will be having what? Saturday you will be having your language papers. Most people prefer the case of English and Hindi, so language papers will be there. And on Sunday, and finally on the coming Sunday, you will be having what? On the Sunday you will be having your optional paper. In the first shift it will be optional paper 1, in the second shift it will be doing optional paper 2. So this will be your context. And also why it is important to start preparing now, because UPSC is what? Decreasing the number of days left between what? Prelims and mains. Earlier 4 or 5 years back, this number of days between the case of prelims and mains used to be around 112 days, 115 days, sometimes it was 108 days. But now what is the context is that they have just brought it down to what? 89 days, and therefore they don't want students who can only come here for with rectification. They don't want them, and that is there is a fair chance for people who are starting now, because that means that not only rectification, they requires what? They requires depth of understanding, conceptual clarity, basics should be what? Taken care of. And at the same time, the context here is also what? That if you know how the things are, if you have good observational power, if you know how to connect the current affairs with the static portions, you can write answers. There are no standard templates that exist here. There are no standard templates that exist here. So that is the context. And finally, you will be what? You will be having this particular phase, which is this. Now, I am now asking that if you guys have any what? If you guys have any doubt, now you can post in the comment section. And of course, as I started the discussion with a very important observation and imagination, that a person anywhere in some part of India who is thinking to start UPSC preparation is having at least 1% chance. I am asking you, and the answer will be yes. I'm asking you, and the answer will be yes, that he or she might be able to what? Get into the final list of UPSC 2027. So if that 1% person can actually do it, why you can't? So Bharat is asking, sir, please tell me about anthropology new batch. Will it come or not? I am Prahar 2.0 student. Bharat, please go on and visit the case of what? Visit the case of PW app and website. There, the starting date of new batches of what all the options are being mentioned. Please go and check there. I am not be aware with the exact dates of it. Dharni is saying, sir, I have a doubt that I am a beginner just now going to classes. Our itself goes 6 to 8 hours. Then how could we follow this? Could you please give some tip? So Dharni, what should be the context? See, now you have less time. If you have more time, you will waste also more time in the feeling that you are studying. So less time is sometimes also what blessing in disguise. There are several working professionals who will be starting their preparation again this year, and there, when they come to us, we have one-to-one discussion. We always say that you are working professional, you are having some blessing in disguise. How? That you have limited time, and in limited time you will always be studying what limited only. So Dharani, one case can be that you can have what? You can have the online access of classes. Here the classes will be online. You can actually watch them quickly. You can actually put them 1.5x, 2x. So one class you can take live, one class you can take what? Recorded format. So you can actually compress the time period which you are writing here of 6 to 8 hours. Because going in the offline classes and sitting for 6 to 8 hours, then teacher is cracking jokes, then students are coming, students are asking for a break. Again, they do not have any interest in you completing the syllabus well before the examination. They don't have any interest. So focus on that. So please tell about Bharat. I already told you that. RQZ, sir, how not to create backlogs. Our backlog is something, is an outcome of an individual who is very idealistic, who wants to do each and everything. And therefore, our, whatever your name is, people who are very idealistic, they create what? People who are very idealistic, they create what? They create a sort of a very difficult and an unimaginable what timetable for them. They want to do class also, they want to do 2 class also, they want to do optional also, they want to go for YouTube videos also, they want to revise the book also, they want to go with the newspaper articles also. And if you have so many things, if you have so many things to complete with your idealism, you will always be what? Fall short, and therefore the backlogs will be pending. Have an optimum preparation strategy. Have a strategy which includes only what? One source for one topic. If you are preparing one topic, there should be only one source. Don't think that, oh, that other student is having 8 dimensions, that other student is referring 3 books. No one will remember till that long in the last 3 hours of the examination hall. So don't fall into that fallacy ever. Don't fall into that fallacy ever. Sir, I have completed 50% of GS and most of my optional is left. Should I join Srijan now or take test series after December once GS and optional are complete? Leader expert, it depends, beta. It depends totally on you. If you want to have a timetable, if you want to have a discipline, so that entirety of the things can be wrapped out, especially from the mains perspective by December or January mid, you can start that context from now as well. Himanshu is saying, oh, Himanshu, your comment went upwards. Dharen, there are various videos on answer writing. I have taken some. I have taken a video recently on introduction, how to write introductions. You can watch that. So that is available on what? The UPSC wala YouTube channel. Please go and watch it. Sir, I start studying from zero. Again, the chats are going up. Himanshu is saying, sir, 2 GS plus optional is possible to complete the syllabus in time, and I am part of your, again. Himanshu, again put it. No, don't go for, if you are want to what clear UPSC 27 attempt, don't go for some specific book readings. You do not have luxury of time now. Please don't do that. If you take ancient India, I can able to understand the concept in my notes. Somehow I can able to understand the question, but facing difficulty in explicitly pointing my, again, Dharen, it is all about what? The revision. The more strong your revision is, the more better the outcome is. Can you please give me your advice, please, sir? What is advice, Palak? What you're asking? Please let me know. Don't become a trend master. That prelims 26 was important for current affairs questions. So next year also important current affair. Again, people who were doing static, they have cleared the cutoff. They are writing the mains now. So don't become a trend master, a what guru in your own with respect to what the UPSC examination. Don't become self-master, self-proclaimed master. Work on your static. Make your static current and your current static. This is a very big thing I'm telling you. Make your static current and your current static. That should be your approach. So I'm afraid of current affairs, how to approach for prelims. So Manikantan, there will be what? Several classes there. You should not be afraid of it. There will be what? Live current affair classes as well. So you can access them. The dates of Prarambh match, I am not sure whether and when they will be starting. Please access the PW app. 2 GS classes plus 1 option classes is enough time to complete a syllabus in a time. Himanshu, the time required is what? This much only. Exactly, if you talk, this is the exact and the most optimum. There is no surplus in this time period, but there is also no deficit. There is also no deficit. So you have to have conviction. Himanshu, you have to come and bring conviction with the self. Don't ask that conviction from other people. There will be 100 number of people who will be giving you different types of conviction. If you think you can, very famous quotation by Henry Ford. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. And that is the reality. And that is the difference which is being created. So that is something of conviction that you have to come. I am saying that this is a good number of days here, and this is just till prelims. You have what? You have around roughly 3 months after prelims also. So why to fear in taking that plunge? Pravesh, start with the basic what? Number system, with the basic what? Algebra questions, with the basic reasoning type of questions. Start solving the PYQs of CTES of last CSET questions of last 10 years. See where you feel lack. Gagan, there are several videos on UPSC CSE. Starting, this was a course for 9 months remaining, and those who want to connect with us. Palak sir, I was asking if the specific book reading is necessary as not much time is left for yes. Palak, I am saying no specific book reading is required. NCRTs, class notes, if you have taken classes from somewhere, if you feel like the teacher has taught you well, that thing, current affair compilations that you have to do, and PYQs, these 4 things that you have to do now because the time is less now. If I start studying from zero today, can I clear UPSC CSE? If people who are asking, see, understand one thing, don't take conviction from other person. The person who is asking is a fool, and if I will tell you, yes, beta, you will be able to do it, I am a bigger fool. Don't expect that I can show that foolishness. Don't ask anyone that if I'm starting today, will I be able to cover? Again, I'm saying you have to bring the conviction from within, from inside you. Sir, what should be the timeline of the current affairs for 2027? You have to prepare at least from what? At least from the case of what? At least from January. January what? 2026, you should start what? Preparing and completing your current affair compilations. How to overcome FOMO because syllabus never feels completed. Again, it's a presence of mind. Bring conviction. Start revising things. When you will revise, you will recall. When you will recall, you will what? You will explicitly put it somewhere, be it in what? In form of writing, be it in form of what? Explaining to your friends and connecting things. You will start getting more confidence. FOMO is directly proportional to what? Lack of revision that you are doing. You are just reading, you are just taking classes, you are not doing self-study and revision. Therefore, the FOMO will always crept in. Dharen is saying, sir, my main approach is first read the concept and next see the questions, and I will put in some platform that will provide an answer and I will write. Okay, this is also a way. No issues in that. Jayaganthan, CSET. The time to start CSET preparation is now only because it is also a tough job to crack. It is also a tough nut to crack, and specifically the questions they are asking nowadays. And therefore, the right time is now. Yes, Pranesh, they are more than enough. Palak Pandey sir, thank you, sir. I am taking regular classes from Sankal batch of PW only, and I am making the notes so alongside that I can only manage PYQ and revision. Perfect, Palak. This should be the clarity, and you are good to go. Please go ahead with this. The rain is, could you please tell me my approach is right or wrong, or what is the mistake I'm doing, sir? Kindly pinpoint my mistake. No, the rain, that is a way. That is a way you can do. You can do and prepare your what means answer likewise. No issues. I'm in Praharam 2027 batch. Tips for current affairs. Best plate for current affairs rather than my batch any other. I'm not aware of your batch. What is the input here? I'm not sure. Perfect. Welcome, Palak. Hemant, Hemant Gowda. Hemant, see, understand. See, I have told you some things. You have become now softer. You have become now what? A good listener. Understand, Hemant. We all are not bullying each other. We are here to what? We are here to cooperate. If you want to throw your frustration, throw on people who are what? Who are criminals, who are what? Who are doing some fraud with other people, who are what? doing bad things. This is academics. Respect academics, Hemang. Sir, current affairs for January 26 start or last year onwards, sir, how many months? Again, I'm telling 1.5 years should be your optimum range of preparation of what current affairs. Pranesh, perfect. Siddharth, sir, does writing in the paragraph in UPSC mains leads to less marks? Yes, you should be writing more in pointers, point-wise format. Paragraph type of writing is generally written in what? Essay papers and some bit of what in ethics as well. Sir, how to manage mains notes making and reading along with the prelims preparation? Good evening, sir. Good evening. Sir, I'm having self-doubt. Please go outside in the evening, walk, run, take out some sweat, and while you're doing this, give yourself some affirmations that I can do it, I am the greatest, and I am good, and I am what worthy of what achieving those things that I aspire to. Perfect. So with this, we are wrapping up today's class. Please, you can go in the comment section and you can check out the link. Again, this will be the course that will be starting soon from 24th of August. This will be the one last batch that you can enroll for actually safeguarding and putting your best foot in the preparation of what UPSC 2027 attempt. Again, we'll be coming on what regular basis to again share more insights, about the UPSC preparation, about the answer writing context, about the topics and themes which are in news, and you can follow us on all the social medias of what pw.live. With this, we are wrapping up today's class. It was nice connecting with you all. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you.